last week when I was Toastmaster, the theme of my meeting was, if you recall, what is your story? And if you recall, I said, we all have great stories to tell. Now look at the person next to you and say to yourself, I wonder what their story is. So to continue on that line of logical thinking, perhaps the next question we need to ask ourselves is, what's in your message? What is the message of your story? See, I'm constantly looking for messages in everyone's stories. I want to know what is motivating that individual and what is driving that person to achieve. So I'm constantly looking for those messages. See, I'm not sure what caused me to start thinking that way. I had this dramatic turnaround in my life. It was my Grinch moment. You know, when he said, what is happening to me? I'm leaking. See, I believe it was my involvement in Toastmasters that caused my change. And in fact, I remember specifically when that moment occurred. It was when I was preparing to compete in my first speech contest. There's power in the message. See, Toastmasters taught me to communicate and articulate. So thanks a lot, Toastmasters. I was quite content before I met you. See, as consumers, we're always looking in companies to see what they believe to determine whether we want to do business with that company. You know, the whole business realm and marketing, it's the why statement of that company. You know, it's like, for example, Apple. And Apple says, we want to challenge the status quo. We want you to think differently. But now, turn that inwards to yourself and say, what is my why statement? What do I believe and what do I stand for? See, we need to have our own why statements. Messages can be words or actions. See, I think the world today has gone crazy. And I think we're sending the wrong messages. There's nothing inspiring about most of what we hear coming out of this world. I mean, just yesterday, for example, I was listening to the news, and there was this story about a guy complaining to a man because he couldn't control his barbecue smoke. It was leaving the confines of his yard, and it was smelling in other people's yards. What's that message? See, those are not the kinds of messages that I'm talking about. People have different types of messages. Artists want to enrich people's lives through their art. Teachers want to mold the minds of the next generation. Parents want to prepare their children for the real world. Your messaging should be designed to affect change. My dad used to communicate through actions, and he taught me responsibility, persistence, and hard work. Well, at least I got 2 out of 3. Today I'm involved in 2 organizations, my day job and my other life. In my day job, the National Swimming Pool Foundation has a very clear message. We talk about helping to improve people's lives through aquatic participation. We want to reduce the levels of drowning to 0. That's our message. Reducing it by half may sound great, but that's not enough. Say that to the other half that lost loved ones. With my other life, as you know, I have a passion and love for sharks, but it goes beyond that. It's about the preservation of our world's oceans. You know, it warms my heart when people like Lyle says to me, every time I eat seafood, I think of you. So that tells me he's heard the message, but he hasn't really done anything. See, both of my messages, whether it's the National Swimming Pool Foundation or Fins Attached, it's really a confluence of events that come together, and both organizations have a goal to improve people's lives. Your messaging should tap into the hearts of individuals and bring out the passion that people have, and sometimes it's passion that they don't even know they have. So when I get to the end, I want you to forget about me, because I'm inconsequential. What I do want you to do is remember the message. So when I'm long gone, I don't care if you remember me. Now, so next time you think of your message, don't just think OMG, LOL, or BFF. Mr. Toastmaster.